Hi guys, it's Ray here from Man City Fan Chat. Well, it's the Bournemouth versus Manchester City video preview. The game is on Sunday at 2 p.m. And I'm joined by Sam from Back of the Net podcast. He's a big Bournemouth fan, as you'd expect. And it's the usual format, guys. We've swapped 5 or 6 questions each and we video record our answers. So let's get cracking. My first question. Only 10 years ago, you were in League Two. You were deducted 17 points and you finished just above the relegation zone. Can you believe how far you've come since then?
Yeah, as a Bournemouth fan, it's just mad to even think that we were in that position. Bottom of League Two, looking like we were going out of business possibly. So to be where we are now is just absolutely ridiculous. I mean, it's been quite a fairy tale pretty much, but I'm not one of these fans who ignores the fact that we've had a lot of money put in from our Russian investor and we've spent a lot of cash to get there. Obviously, there are murmurings of other clubs from financial fair play, you did this, you did that, etc. But I think for a club our size, where we were getting 4,000, 5,000 on the gate, we did get from League 2 to League 1. And that's where the sort of interest came on board to improve Bournemouth as a club. And yeah, we got our investor, managed to get up to the Championship, and obviously now we're in the Premier League. But we've spent wisely. Any players that we've purchased are either of similar or higher value. So it's not like we've frittered money away, as you can see with some Football League projects where they've spent a lot of money and have failed, or even ones that got to the Premier League and they've just chucked money at it and thought that would stick. I'm talking Fulham. Thankfully we've got a manager who is a good manager, knows the players he wants to sign, good recruitment, and manages to convert reasonable footballers into good footballers. You're talking players like Simon Francis, Charlie Daniels, players that came up through League One that have succeeded in the Premier League. Now they're getting old, and that's the tier of players that are getting phased out very soon, probably end of this season. But he's managed to bring them up to a level whereby, we've done all right. So he's pivotal to everything. And if we ever lost him, it would be, it's scary. It's scary to think what would happen to this club because it's completely built around him. But to answer your question, no, I cannot believe it. And I just hope we can keep Eddie, and long may it continue, really.
Okay, Sam's first question. Man City, established Premier League winners, blow every team away they seem to play. As a Man City fan, give me a reason or two why Bournemouth fans could possibly have some optimism ahead of Sunday's match. Well, you're pushing it, Sam, if you think there's a couple of reasons why Bournemouth fans can have some optimism for the game on Sunday. But let's be honest about it. Look, City are a good team. We've seen that over the last few seasons, especially in the last 2 seasons under Pep. But we don't come without our weaknesses, and that is always going to give teams an opportunity. I think if you just defend, I think eventually we'll break you down. I mean, this team right now, looking at our forward line and our midfield, I think we will break just about every single team down. I think Spurs, look at the last game we played, very strong defensively, and we battered them. So you've got to take your chances. That's the first thing. Spurs, 2 half chances, 2 goals. You've got to take your chances. And the 2 areas where I actually think you can hurt us, if you play your cards right, one of them is on set plays. You saw Lucas Moura, who's probably shorter than me, he's about 5'6", leaping above our defenders who are 6 foot plus to score the equaliser on last Saturday. So that's one opportunity for you. And I think another one is if you break behind our fullbacks. I think Walker's stepped up his game this season because he's worried that this João Cancelo might take his place. So he's upped his game, I think. I think he concentrates better, and attacking-wise, he's even better than the last couple of seasons. But Zinchenko still is error-prone. Look, he's an attacking midfielder playing at left-back. He's played pretty well at left-back, but one of the reasons is we have sometimes 70% of the ball. We have that much possession that other teams don't have that many opportunities. So he's not called upon as a fullback too often in a game. He usually, if you look at his average position, it's in the opponent's half or during a game. So I think, but knocking a diagonal ball over his head, that's a weakness. Take him on. Take him on. Your winger, whoever plays your right wing, has got to put him under pressure, get him in the box and put pressure on him that way. I think those are your two best ways to get at City. I mean, you've got some good players on the break, some fast players up front especially. And I think you've got to take every opportunity you get to score a goal. You've got to score a goal. You spent £50 million in the summer transfer window. Does it look like money well spent?
Yeah, I think it does. Because they're young players, like we did a couple of seasons ago with Nathan Ake, people bogged at us spending quite a lot of money on him. But when you look at him now, people are looking at him as, a sort of £40 million bracket player minimum. When you see players like Harry Maguire go for double that, you think, okay, he's surely got to be at least 60 or 70 in this football climate. Who knows what anyone's worth really anyway. But yeah, I think his recruitment has been good previously, and it has again this season. Young players have come through. Jack Stacey from Luton, also Lloyd Kelly from Bristol City as well. Also getting Harry Wilson on loan from Liverpool. Excellent for Liverpool. Maybe not so good for you next season. Perhaps if he comes back all guns blazing, but started really well last week against Villa and got his goal, albeit deflected. We've signed another couple of players. Philip Billing from Liverpool in centre mid, who I think is really solid actually. Him and Jefferson Lerma are going to form quite a combination, and this is what gives me hope a little bit as a Bournemouth fan for the match against City. Now, obviously, never beaten you, often get smashed. Last few games have been a little bit closer, but with him in the side as well to shore up the midfield, who knows how it will go. We got a player called Arnaud Danjuma, no one knows how to pronounce his surname really. Left winger, although he's injured at the moment. But again, it looks an exciting winger, possibly with Ryan Fraser going next season. Who knows? But yeah, I think his recruitment on the whole has been good. There have been players in the past that he's signed where it's not been as good. Many players look to Jordan Ibe, who I still feel's got a little bit of potential. He's had a good pre-season, hasn't played this season yet, but when you've got Ryan Fraser on one side and Harry Wilson on the other, David Brooks coming back into contention as well, Danjuma, of course, who would be back, you kind of think, what chances will he get? I don't know, but he's one of the signings that we might actually lose money on. But other than that, recruitment's really good. And this season is probably... We've got some very optimistic fans out there hoping for possibly our highest finish yet, maybe.
Question 2. Obviously, because of VAR, whether rightly or wrongly, you're currently 2 points behind your rivals from last season. It's early days yet. But how do you see this season panning out for Man City? Do you expect to slog till the death again, or do you expect to be picking up the Premier League title again? How do I see this season panning out? It's a really difficult one to call. I mean, Liverpool pushed us really hard last season. I mean, to get 97 points and not win the title, I mean, that's got to hurt. I'm sure it did hurt their fans, their players, their staff, everybody. And we'd have felt the same if we'd finished 1 point behind Liverpool. It would have been gutted, absolutely gutted. So I expect a similar competition. You know, I don't think Liverpool are as good as City overall. Maybe against City they're actually quite good, and I don't think they've got as good a squad as City have. But they keep pulling out results. I mean, we've seen so far this season not the best performances in the world in my book from Liverpool, but they've managed to win 2 games. So I think they'll be there or thereabouts. My hope is that City win the league again. That's the number one target for, I think, especially the older City fans. It's always the number one target is the Premier League now. Champions League, that'd be nice. Cups, that'd be nice. Like the icing on the cake, really, if we win the Champions League. But I think we've generally said the Premier League is our bread and butter. That's what we want to win. and that's our realistic aim. I think Liverpool will push us close. I think the winner of the Premier League will need to score to have more than 90 points, and it could be as much as 94, 95 points to win it. Will teams get 97, 98? I doubt it, but I think someone was going to get around 94, 95 points, and it'll either be City or Liverpool. How happy are that you managed to keep hold of Nathan Ake this summer? How good is he?
Yeah, keeping him was huge for us. Well, the spine of the so-called spine, Ryan Fraser, Callum Wilson, Nathan Ake, really huge for us to keep them. This is as good as having new signings, really, keeping those boys. Nathan Ake at the back, yeah, as I mentioned previously, phenomenal. Now, the stats don't really reflect how good he is, because we shipped the most goals in the league last season, bar Huddersfield and Fulham, who got relegated. But it's the fact that we can attack that has kind of saves our bacon somewhat. So yeah, we're very generous at both ends of the pitch, really, in terms of, yeah, we like to score lots of goals, but also like to help teams out by letting them put a hatful past us. But he is solid. Him and Steve Cook have got a good combination at the back. I think that his value again is going to increase this season, and if we kept him again for another season, we would be hugely lucky. But yeah, we are ultimately, delighted to have him at the back, and without him, we would be in a relegation dogfight. So yeah, I'm so delighted to keep him, and hopefully his form will also lead into more international appearances for the Netherlands as well, because obviously Virgil van Dijk's always going to be in, but I think him and Van Dijk could be an awesome centre-back pairing for Holland, but he's got to work his way into that, and I'm sure he will, because his performances keep on getting better and better for us. Again, against Aston Villa on Saturday, I was there, and we were 2-0 up, and then in 43 minutes they had a golden opportunity where the ball was cut back, shot on goal, and Nathan Ake, once again, right time, right place, cleared it off the line, and that could have changed the game had they scored before half time. Thankfully they didn't, but yeah, so glad we've got him, really.
Question 3. We know the standout players for City: Sterling, Aguero, De Bruyne, etc. Those are in no doubt. However, is there a player for you that goes under the radar as being one to watch, who may likely take the field for Sunday's match? Well, if I can't mention 5 or 6 standout players, there's not many players left in the City team. But I think the one that we're liking the look of right now is Rodri. He's playing as a holding midfielder, but I think he's got a bit more in his locker going forwards as well. Right now, he's not at the level of a Fernandinho. Fernandinho's 33, 34 years old. He's, let's be honest, in the twilight of his career. It's going to be, but he's still very, very good. And most City fans still rate him higher than Rodri at the moment. We've only seen Rodri in 2 competitive games, so we just need to see a bit more of him. But from what we've seen so far, if he can continue to get the hang of the Premier League, then I think he's going to be an awesome player for City for potentially the next 8 to 10 seasons. He's young, athletic, mobile, tall, strong, and he's pretty much everything you want from a holding midfield. He's several inches taller than Fernandinho. I think that benefits us as well, defensively, at corners and free kicks and throw-ins. But I think we'll see going forwards in this season that he will contribute a lot to City going forwards. He's, I think, more attacking than Fernandinho. He'll set up more opportunities for City. I think his long and short passing in the opponent's half is excellent so far. City fans have really liked what they've seen, and I think he's going to be a danger, a threat going forwards, as well as a backstop going backwards. And when we defend him, I think he's going to be awesome, and when we go forwards, I think he's going to surprise people as to how good he really is. After 4 years in the Premier League, punching above your weight, what are your realistic aims this season?
What do you mean punching above our weight? We're doing all right. No, I mean, we are. The size of the club is small. We have got Tin Pot Stadium. We know that. Loads of fans will take Mick, and say, you've got a small stadium, my garden shed is bigger than this. All right, mate, tell me a new joke, because we know it's worked to our advantage for the first few years. But now we're spending money on players on the pitch. We're doing it in the right way. Just on a side note about the stadium and all that kind of stuff, right, we're building a multi-million-pound training facility that will be the best in the south. At the moment, our training facility is right next to the stadium. So when your fans, your fans will see it. Right by the away end is a smallish pavilion, which was like the players' area. I've been in there actually because I met Eddie and a few backroom staff start of last season. We got invited to a meeting about how fans can get integrated on a match day better, and that's what I love about our club, the way that the fans are integral, and how can the match day experience be improved and all that kind of stuff. Really thought that was great. But yeah, there's a players pavilion and some training pitches there. Now the training pitches are being moved to a place called Canford, which is about a 20-minute drive from the stadium, and it's going to be a huge facility. We're talking sort of for like 35-40 million, I think that's what they said. Like 10 full-size pitches. The academies are going to be there. There's going to be 2 indoor pitches, artificial real surface, all sorts of facilities. So that's going to be good. But the thing is, the new stadium will be on the proposed location is in the same area where the stadium is now, Kings Park it's in, and there's an athletic stadium. If you look, as you come out the away end on Sunday, look to the right, you'll see an athletic stadium in the background. That's where they're hoping to put it, but the training facilities are on the land pretty much that we need to use. So we've got to move one, and then there's chance for another. So yeah, we are a tiny club, and in that respect, we're punching above our weight. However, on the pitch, I don't think we are. When you look at some of the teams that have got relegated and promoted, and there were teams that we're comfortably finishing above of that have got better facilities, etc. I think we're doing all right, and we give most teams a game. So to be 5 seasons into the Premier League, it is absolutely phenomenal. But people do tend to focus on the size of the stadium. Like, people forget that there have been attendances at Watford this season, last season, that were like 18, 19. It's like, we are 11,000, granted, but we could sell double that. So the potential is there to be a bigger club. We are a small club. So yeah, in that respect, we are punching above our weight, I suppose. But on the pitch, I think we're doing all right. And for once, we're looking like a team that isn't looking down, but is looking forward. Which is a weird thing to say given our financial plight over the years. So yeah, we're doing all right. We're doing all right.
Question 4. And as far as the Bournemouth side is concerned, as a City fans, are there any players you think your side needs to keep their wits about? Well, I think we all know who your better players are. I mean, your front two, King and Wilson, very, very good as a partnership. They're going to score you lots of goals this season. Fraser in midfield, always talked about. And Nathan Ake, a player that I like. And when we were thinking, well, company's gone, will City look for a new centre-back? And I thought Nathan Ake would be a very, very good option. Once Harry Maguire's price was getting ridiculous and his wage demands appear to be way over the top, I thought Nathan Ake, if we could get him for around 40, even 50 million quid, would actually be, could be considered as a bargain. Homegrown player, he qualifies as that. That's what we needed because we have got no, until Leroy signed his injury, we had no more non-homegrown spots available in our squad. And I like the look of Nathan Ake, so he's going to be very good in your defence. I think you know that already. But we have to keep our wits about your attackers. And the way I think you've got pace when you're going to break against City, transitioning from defence into attack. I'm worried about King and Wilson. I'm always worried about players who have got pace, who know where the back of the net is. And Fraser coming through late. He's another player that we've got to be very, very careful of. What do you think of Man City's Centurions and domestic treble winners? Are they the best ever?
Yeah, possibly the best ever. You're just a powerhouse, really, at the moment. It's, I think the team, well, last season's squad, I thought was, yeah, your best ever. I know there still is the European issue. Obviously, sometimes I wonder whether Liverpool and Man City would have traded places last season. Man City seemed to be desperate for the Champions League, Liverpool for the Premier League, and I can't believe the fine margins last season. I mean, I don't know. It's absolutely bizarre, and did I feel for Liverpool a little bit, but no. But yeah, I just kind of I feel as though that you're an absolute powerhouse with so many options. When you look at our squad and you've got like young lads from the academy that are coming off the bench in certain Premier League matches, and you've got, on the bench you can afford to put De Bruyne on it, Aguero, Jesus or whatever, you just think, oh my God, it's scary. So the team you've got at the moment, I think, is very, very strong. I think that, again, you're going to be up there, of course. But last season, I mean, that Vincent Kompany goal against Leicester, I mean, that was just phenomenal. It made for amazing TV, and it's so funny the way like Sky pick their fixtures, because they always seem to get the crunch game. So I was watching that, and when he scored that goal, it was like postage stamp in the corner. Phenomenal. You've got, his leadership was just amazing, and that, that's the only doubt I maybe have this season about your sort of on pitch leadership. But you've got so many characters there, and players that have been there, like international players that have now been there a long time. International players have often got this reputation of coming and going between various clubs, but you seem to have a number of players that have been there now for a long time. And if Pep can keep that squad together, then it's going to be trophy after trophy. Obviously, Liverpool are going to be there or thereabouts as well, with the way that Klopp's organising, the Reds. But it's good for football. It's good, I'd rather have a close title race than one where you're absolutely killing it. So yeah, you have got the best squad ever at the moment, I would say, and probably going to win the league.
Question 5. Given the fact that we've not taken a single point off you since we were promoted to the Premier League, the bookies are obviously favouring an away win. I'm sure Pep will not take the following view in terms of what he says to his squad, but as a supporter, do you see Bournemouth as an easy game? I certainly don't see Bournemouth as an easy game, and to be quite honest, I don't look at any single game in the Premier League as an easy game. Teams now, with the money they've got, yes, they can't compete at the levels of United, City and Liverpool in terms of spending power, but with the money they've got these days, they can hold on to their players for a little bit, the better players for a little bit longer, and teams can go out and spend 15, 20, 25 million pounds on players. I mean, look at Aston Villa. They spent over 100 million pounds on players, got Tyrone Mings from you guys. I think they paid, 25 or 26 million pounds for him. So teams can compete in that respect. They've got the bargaining power. They can get some of the better players around Europe that would normally go to some decent clubs in Europe, and they've been attracted to the Premier League because we've just got the money here. I don't know what your commercial income is and what your match day income is, but the money you're going to get from TV rights is well over 100 million pounds. That's great bargaining power when you compare yourselves, any English team, any English Premier League team, to top European teams in their top leagues. So that makes it more difficult because teams have got better players and they can retain those better players for just that 1 or 2 seasons longer than possibly they would have done in the past. But as I said, it's not an easy game. I think last season, scrappy 1-0 win for City at the end of the day. You fought hard, you worked hard to keep us out. In the past, yes, we've beaten you quite easily a few times. You never got a point off us, like you say. but I don't see it as an easy game. I think you'll be resolute in defence. It's one of those, if City score a couple of early goals, yes, it could be an easy game and we could batter you. Obviously, the longer you hold out, the more chance you've got of hitting us on the break with a sucker punch, getting an opportunity from a dead ball situation. You're going to have to do better than last season, where I don't think you had a single shot on target. But as I said, you're not an easy game anymore. Which City players do you fear the most on Sunday?
Well, I could name any of the squad really, because you're all every single player is a threat in their own way. But if there was one player that I would have to single out, it would be Raheem Sterling. I've got to say that the first time I ever saw him play live was when he was playing for Liverpool, actually, and I think Bournemouth were playing them. I don't know if it was I don't know, what was it? Was it a cup game or something? But oh my word, the pace that he had, and his game has come on leaps and bounds. Now, do you remember for Liverpool, like he didn't have the end product. Now he does. I don't think there's a match that goes by where he doesn't score against Bournemouth. So we really fear him. And if you're on a sort of player to score and team to win, Man City and Sterling, obviously you would have to say, the odds will be, well, just, put on a tenner and, you'll probably win £20 back. That's what I'm saying. Great player, fast, nimble. He's got a low centre of gravity that many of these sort of internationals, Argentinians have got, that can twist and turn in a heartbeat. He's got a good understanding of the pace of the game, manages to slow it down, speed it up, but his bursts of energy, oh man, I would just love a player like that in our squad. But yeah, if there's a player, I'd have to say Raheem Sterling is the one that we are most fearful of.
And Sam's sixth and final question. So how do you see the match going on Sunday? And can he get a score prediction, please? Let's be honest, I see the match going like many matches against City for most teams. We're going to have the bulk of possession. We'll probably be somewhere in the region of 60-odd%, I suspect, against Bournemouth. I think you're going to be defensive again. Most teams are. And I think we're going to struggle to break you down. If we score early, obviously that's going to help us and bring you out a little bit. But I think we will break you down. I think it's going to be teams are going to be very lucky and very resilient to keep City out this season. I think we're a better side than we were last season. We might not get as many points as last season or the season before. But I think with Kevin De Bruyne in stunning form, Raheem Sterling oozing confidence, scored 4 goals already this season. I think we're going to score a lot of goals. We're going to have a lot of opportunities, and we'll break most teams down. Will you score? I really don't think so, unless you change your attitude. You can't be like last season, not even having a shot on target. So I'm going to go for a City win. I'm going to go for a City win 2-0. And how do you see the game playing out? And can I get your score prediction, please, Sam?
Honestly, I think City will win. That's just going on facts and stats. I thought that you were unlucky against Spurs. Obviously, VAR contributed to that somewhat, but you had loads more chances than what Spurs did. You're likely to obviously have the bulk of possession. The game that we had against you at home last season, it was a scrappy 1-0. It was a Riyad Mahrez scuffed shot, and I just thought, God, that was the difference between the two teams. But when you look back, it was like we didn't register a shot on target, so we got ridiculed on social media for that. But in a way, it was really good for us to be so, solid defensively. I think City will probably win it. I'd like to think that we will create some chances. In my heart, I would like to go for 1-1, but I think it'll probably be 2-1 or 3-1 to City. As long as we put in a good performance and then keep the momentum. Because after that, we got a cup game, but then it's Leicester City. we just need to sort of keep the momentum and not lose, because we've got an awful habit of once we lose, we'll go on a streak of bad results. So yeah, if we can keep some kind of momentum in terms of the performance, then that would be good. But yeah, not expecting to win, but 2-3-1 City. But you never know, 1-1 would be nice.
There you have it, guys. That's our preview done for the Bournemouth game against City this coming Sunday. Many thanks to Sam from Back of the Net podcast. You can check him out on Twitter. He's at AFCB Podcast. That's at AFCB Podcast. And let us know in the comment section below, guys, what you think the score will be this coming Sunday.